we've had two frenetic races again today at Le Mans, but two frenetic races in race 1 and race 2. Be interesting to see what happens in race 3. Will we have a slightly calmer one? I doubt it. Dubs has been unable to start both races today, but I'm hoping he's going to be able to race in this one, and he lines up 5th. We have got Mark on pole position. This is his second pole of the day, but he did get taken out in the first race. We've got Dom alongside, who had that amazing first race from 11th on the grid, and he's in the Mercedes, which has proven to be very quick so far today. In fact, Mark could get mugged by Mercedes because we've got Martin in 3rd, race 1 and race 2 winner. Oz is in 4th in the Mercedes, Dubs is 5th in the Jag, Doogs is 6th in the other Mercedes, and he's obviously had technical issues in race 1 and then got taken out in race 2. Grizzler 7th, Andy 8th, Graham 9th, Coop is 10th, and race 1 and race 2 second place finisher Lee lines up last. We watched the front row to see what happens. Let's have a look at Dom. We can see Mark to the side. Mark makes an absolute blinder of a start, and the Mercedes behind are all just clamouring over that second place. Martin moves up to second place. I think he might just about get past Dom. He doesn't quite do it though as they head into the first chicane, and Dom just maintains second place but loses out the lead. I think Oz perhaps went into the back of Martin there. There was definitely a bit of a kerfuffle. Grizzler and Oz fighting over 4th place, and there's one of the other cars off in the background. Lee, I can tell he's made it up to 6th from 11th on the grid so far. There is a safety car out, and Mark slows the pack down. That's unfortunate for Mark because we know how quick the Mercedes drivers are, as I think Martin ran into the back of Dom there. So Dukes is in 7th in the Mercedes, Andy 8th, Coops 9th, Graham 10th. So I think Graham was involved in that first lap melee, and Dubs is the final place car. Not looking to have a particularly good day today, having not started the first 2 races. Mark is slowing it right down, which is an interesting tactic, but it's worked. He's caught Dom completely unawares and pulls out well over a second advantage. But we know how quick the Mercedes cars are down the straight as we go on board with Dom heading down towards the first chicane. Is he going to do it before the chicane? I'm not certain that he is, but he's going to try. He goes on the brakes. Is he going to get the car stopped? He gets the car stopped beautifully. Excellent. And one of the other cars was that Oz in the background coming in backwards. And I don't know if he was assisted there. I would suspect he probably was. So Oz is not going to have a fantastic end to the day, I don't think. But he won't worry because he's had such a fantastic race 1 and race 2. But Dom takes the lead. Newcomer Dom, he takes the lead for the first time. This is excellent stuff from Dom. As Martin moves up to second, but he overshoots the chicane and could not take that second place off of Mark, who gathers it back together beautifully. And Mark is going on the offensive. He tries to get past Dom on the run up the hill. I don't think that's going to work though because of the speed of that Mercedes, but it's a good try from Mark. And Mark intent on clawing back some championship points on Lee in this one, who's down in 7th at the moment, and Coops is still in 10th. Coops having an absolutely awful day so far. And Dom gets the car slowed down beautifully, maintains the lead for Mercedes at the moment ahead of Mark. Martin's in a fantastic 3rd, really would deserve a podium. So would this man, Dukes, who's in 4th place at the moment. Great stuff, a great recovery after a non-start in race 1 and a really dire race 2. No thanks to contact. Where else have we got battles? We've got the Jags fighting him, screaming down the straight there as they try and chase down Oz Phillips. I suspect Oz Phillips got past them though, as Graham tries to make a move on him and does so. Great stuff from Graham, because we know how difficult that car is. And Graham goes straight off into the wall. As I say, well done. He throws it all away. Well, that looked really bad. But that car is not easy to drive, so it probably shouldn't laugh. I'd do a lot worse if that was me. Martin and Dubs fighting a little bit. Dom and Mark fighting a little bit. Dom's hanging on to this quite nicely. I fancy Dom for a potential victory here. It would be really nice to see. And Mark would deserve a win as well, but Mark is often winning and often getting podiums, and it would just be lovely to see Dom get this opportunity. He needs to get through these chicanes in the lead and onto the straight in the lead. That is the way that he can win this race, and he does come through the final chicane quite tidily actually. Maybe a bit of a track limits issue there, maybe not, and he does get through there and he leads away ahead of Mark at the moment. Dom goes a little bit deep then, and Mark is straight through. Excellent job from Mark, and this is exactly where Mark needs to do it because it's before the corner, so Mark's now got the opportunity to stretch out that advantage as Dom goes deep. Not as experienced in these cars, and Mark is away like a stabbed rat, and 2-second advantage. I struggle to catch that along this straight, but there is a huge speed differential between these two cars. There is no denying as we look at the speedos and go on board perhaps with Mercedes. He's nowhere near that Nissan, is he, this time as they head down to the first chicane. No opportunity to take the lead. What he needs is a really good tidy run through here, and he does it well, does it very well. Oh, a little bit deep though on the exit, that might cost him. This is his opportunity, he needs to take it back while he can before we get to the corners. If we get to the next set of corners, there isn't much hope for that Mercedes of winning this race. As we get down to half a second, 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths, a tenth of a second. Mercedes now in the lead as they head onto the brakes. Mark's going for a brave dive, takes it beautifully, lovely driving by Mark on the brakes, and then we're going to head up the hill. I think Mark might have done enough here. He's done a really fine job there. Dukes and Martin fighting over third place, but Martin hanging on to third, doing a really nice job, and he will have earned this position whether he finishes third or fourth, quite frankly. Dom has managed to retake the lead as they head onto the brakes. That is crucial. Great recovery from Dom, and as they head onto another straight, that gives him an opportunity to pull away before we get to the handling section, if he can hold it together. I have had a submission. An anonymous viewer has said that they went to their premature ejaculation meeting last Wednesday. Turns out it was Thursday. Back to the racing, and Dom is pulling out a little advantage there. That's going to be very handy when it comes into the handling section of the circuit, as Mark goes a little bit deeper than Nissan, but nothing too much to worry him. In fact, if anything, it will be worrying the Mercedes in front, because he'll be wondering when the move is going to come. And back out onto a shortish straight. There's not an opportunity here, but it's through these fast corners that the Nissan is an absolute monster of a car. Lee is up to 6th and chasing down Andy in the meantime, and Coops is up to 9th. So the Nissan guys not having a terrible day, they're just not having the exceptional day that they've had at every other race circuit so far. I think Dom's doing a fantastic job here. Is he going to be able to hang on to this though? I think Mark's going to go for that move. Mark's going round the outside. That's how much more downforce and traction. Normally I'd be bouncing off the walls at such a fine move, but the difference in the car is just staggering, and I don't think Dom really stood a chance. That's an interesting part of the circuit for Mark to take the lead. Look how slow the Mercedes goes through those corners in comparison. Now there's over a second difference between them as we head into a handling section once more. I think Mark will be feeling fairly comfortable about this now, but let's not count anything before the old fat lady sings. Out the back, well, what can I say, it's those bloody Jaguars again, and Graham's the lead Jaguar and he's only an 8th, and he's under pressure from Coops. Coops really should be getting past because that car is way better. Mark ahead of Dom, there's 2.6 seconds between them, 2.7. Now watch it count down as they head down the straight, 2.5, 2.4, but it's not as noticeable because Dom is quite a way behind and is not able to pick up any toe. 2 seconds between them as we head into the first chicane. Mark just taking that now. Dom, you can see, not too far behind. Dom needs the perfect exit. He needs the exit of his life if he's going to challenge for this win. And as they come onto the straight, he's done a nice job there, but his 1.8 seconds, that's not going to be closed down in the short gap between the two chicanes, no way. And we go on board with the Mercedes. You can see he's far further behind than he was last round. He's going to need to do something very special, I think, to win this race. I think Mark's got it. To be honest, either of these guys will have earned it. Martin holding on to third place, his first podium spots of the year if he can hang on to it, but he's got Dukes not far behind. Dukes has been absolutely excellent this season. He's had a really fine run. It's a shame about the first two races here today. I think he probably would have had a podium by now today. People picking up track limits all over the place, and there's just a second between these guys as they head on to another straight line section. This could provide an opportunity for Dom, but I don't think they're going to get to the I think they're going to get to the corner too quickly for Dom to make a move. He needs to get ahead before these corners, otherwise he will not win this race, I guarantee it. And he's not managed to, so I'm going to call it now. Mark for the win, but Dom for a fine second place is going to be my bet. Martin's in third. Dukes is still chasing though for that final podium spot. Lee and Andy both picking up track limits, but Lee's up to 5th. Coops has managed to get up to 8th. Oz is recovering to 7th. Graham 9th, Dubs 10th, and Chrysler 11th. All in the Jaguars as we watch Dubs spin again painfully. And his mark just ahead. But this is where the Nissan will pull out leagues over the Mercedes car. And Dom doesn't stand a chance now. But a great drive from him nonetheless. Look at the gap difference. Just absolutely huge now. And there's no competition for that Nissan when it comes to the corners. But Mark, that's not taking anything away from Mark. Mark had to work for this one really hard because he was not ahead at the start. Dom put up a valiant defence, but it is Mark who will take race 3 victory today. A brilliant job, the only Nissan victory today. But Dom, commendable for that result. Second place on his first meeting in these. Excellent stuff from Mark, excellent stuff from Dom. And superb from Martin. Let's be honest, all season, and that is some recompense for that. So well done to Martin. Dukes, fan 4th. Lee, great recovery drive to 5th. Andy, not a bad result in 6th. Oz obviously out of luck, going backwards into the chicane on the first lap, I think it was. So recovered anyway. Coops has had a day to forget, definitely. 8th place picks up a meagre amount of points. And definitely another one to forget for the Jag guys. Graham, Chrysler and Dubs finish in the final 3 spots. Graham and Chrysler picking up the final points. Dubs out of the points. We'll just check the confirmation because there were some track limits infringements. It'd be interesting to see whether that alters the results at all, but I suspect not. And there we have it. It is indeed Mark ahead of Dom, who gets a 1 second penalty. No best lap from Lee. He had no clean laps at all, but does maintain place ahead of Andy, Oz, Coops, Gray and Chrysler.